All Hallows Eve, that time of year again when all creatures of the night are unleashed to the world. It's time to return to where it all started. Another year, but the scares continue. Another month, but the fear proceeds to rise. This is the Venom month of horrors 2, Trapped in Time.
Help? Help?
Thank you. Yeah, man, no problem. Cinematic Venom.
Yes, that's me. Take me anywhere, just far away from here.
Righty dokie, Skip. So, man, what's your deal?
What do you mean?
Well, you look pretty shit, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell's gone off?
Long story.
Well, it seems to be a really long way to get you the hell out of here, so, bore me.
I've been watching some of the worst horror movies and thrillers ever made.
Ah, you mean for the cinematic Venom month of horror?
Yep, that's the one.
Boy, have I got just the thought and idea for you.
Why do I not like the sound of that?
You like Rick Mayall and Ade Edmondson, don't you?
Yeah.
How about the 1999 classic Guest House Paradiso? Yo, what are you doing?
Nothing, I just...
Come on. Let me rid your mind of the pesky evilness of all these shitty films that you've been fucking reviewing, and let's work on this cult classic comedy.
Help! Somebody help!
It's not that bad.
I'm hostage!
Could you keep your voice down, please?
Okay, so for those outside the UK, you're probably most familiar with Rick Mayall from the early 80s classical series, The Young Ones.
Just shut up and tell me the answer. Shut up and tell you the answer. Just tell me the answer!
Or even the 1991 slapstick comedy of Drop Dead Fred.
The mega bitch!
But in the early to mid-90s, he and his comedy partner Adrian Edmondson, who was Vivian in the aforementioned Young Ones, came out with Bottom.
Ripped?
Yeah.
Who's gonna want a ripped condom?
Now, that must be for people who want to get pregnant.
A slapstick, over-the-top cartoony show of two old perverted bastards living together and constantly trying to get some birds.
It was awesome!
It was self-aware in its goofy nature, intentionally over the top, and just pretty much a live-action cartoon.
It led to 3 seasons with the spin-off to live shows, but in 1999 it even got its own movie.
Rick Mayall was in a tragic quad bike accident, but once recovering in hospital, he and Ade had this idea for the movie, literally writing it with Rick being doped up on morphine.
Explains a lot.
No.
You know, weirdly, Rick and Ade actually claimed that this is not a Bottom movie. They admitted that they've literally played the same characters for years, so this is a completely different thing with completely different characters who just so happen to be rather similar.
Yeah, despite them having completely identical names, wearing the exact same clothes, using the exact same quotes, they're the same characters. They even give Eddie the exact same middle name.
It put Elizabeth and Dingum Baba.
In fact, it's even listed absolutely everywhere as a Bottom movie, so I have no idea where they got this from.
And even if you want to take away the fact that it's supposed to be a version of the show and not actually an adaptation, it still fails. It's not funny, it's disturbing, it's not clever, it's uncomfortable, it's adapted poorly, poorly, it's made poorly. And it's no surprise that to this day, it is the one and only film directed and written by Adrian Edmondson. It's just a poor excuse of a film from two of my comedic influences, and it makes me sick that it's forever attached to their names.
This movie is an abomination.
You know, I think it is a very faithful adaptation of the TV show.
So the film starts quite fittingly with snoring, and the first line of dialogue even being,
You bastards.
This movie in a nutshell.
So Rick wakes up by, what else? Hurting himself with this great gag.
God, this just isn't funny, and it's the first sign that this transition from stage to film just does not work.
We'll go on to it more later, but we are only 1 minute in and they've already displayed it, so we are in for one hell of a ride. You get it, come on, driving.
So after Richie gets dressed in a hilarious segment,
Sancho the Bailiff was funnier than this! And then just to make it even more offensive to the art of comedy, Eddie then rides his motorbike carelessly and in an extremely unfunny fashion. A bit crude so soon after Rick's accident.
Oh god, quad bike flashback.
But guess what? It's also not funny.
what? His accident or the scene?
Both.
Yeah.
Righty dokey, Skip.
We cut back and forth from Eddie doing random crap on his bike to Richie ironing his tie, stabbing himself in his nipple with his name badge.
What? See that lake over there?
What, there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you drive us in there, please?
Righty dokey, Skip.
See what I mean?
And this one gag goes on for forever. He has a drink, he stands up and has a piss, he nearly dies. Get to the damn point and maybe make a funny joke while you're at it.
During all of this, Eddie has his voice recorded to trick Richie into thinking he's in bed. For some reason?
Why not?
Richie tries to spy on the honeymoon couple before being interrupted by Philip and Liz from Shaun of the Dead.
Well, really?
Good morning, room 4. This is your personal alarm call.
This isn't funny.
I trust you've both washed.
Actually, the water was cold.
Well, there's no reason not to wash, is it? Good grief, we are British, you know. We invented cold showers to stop people masturbating.
I also thought we invented decent comedy, but apparently not.
Eventually, after 7 minutes of the same gag, Eddie returns home and Richie is none the wiser. It turns out that they run a hotel together called Guest House Paradiso, and Richie's the manager there.
But remember, this isn't a bottom movie because his last name has been changed.
Look, Mr. Twat. It's pronounced thwait. Well, it's spelled twat.
And don't worry, because if you didn't laugh at that, they're only going to do it once or twice more just to try and milk it and make you laugh at some point.
Morning, Twat. Mr. Twat.
It's thwaite.
Mr. Twat. Are you Mr. Twat?
It's thwaite.
And you must be Mr. Thwaite.
It's twat.
Good evening, Mr. Twat.
It's cunt.
I get running gags, but usually they're funny.
Ah.
But hey, it's time to see some of Rick Mayall's trademark genius comedy.
Now, if you'll just please allow me to finish what I was doing before you so rudely interrupted. Now, what on earth is all this silly fuss about?
You know,
Yeah?
I'm starting to see what you're talking about.
The fact that Rick Mayall himself wrote this physically hurts me.
Use your breathing technique.
So it turns out they have to serve some breakfast, but the chef is plastered, the waiter is no-showed, Rick spots some Italian actress on the TV who's just left her fiancé at the altar.
She comes back into the film later, doesn't she?
How did you know?
Because I went to primary school.
Righty dokey, Skip.
So Richie starts to make a few calls to try and locate the waiter, but he stops to have a quick wank. But then he gets interrupted by the chef.
Meanwhile, Eddie is struggling to serve the couple.
Wine? It's a bit early, isn't it? Well, what about an aperitif then? Gin, scotch, poachine?
Did you laugh at that? Because if you didn't, don't worry. It was so darn hilarious. They're gonna reuse it. Not exaggerating. Less than 1 minute later.
I can particularly recommend this one.
Which one is that?
This page is the one with all the wines on it. but it's a bit early for us. Well, what are you doing up then?
Whoa. Okay, that is laser.
They're 13 minutes in, and they're already running out of material. They used the same gag in less than 60 seconds. Twice!
You fucking bastard!
Richie sends Eddie to the kitchen to help the chef as he takes the order.
Now, what would you like?
Come on, you don't even find that the slightest bit funny.
Why would they even stick around after that?
Chef's hurt himself.
How badly?
Indescribably badly. He hit his head on a frying pan 17 times.
You see what I mean? In the TV series, this was hilarious.
You fell over on his way to the door?
That's right, and banged himself repeatedly over the head with a frying pan.
You're right. We're done for.
Here, it's just not that funny. I mean, we don't even see it, so that's less laughs. And then when we do see the fight, it still doesn't work. But again, we'll get onto that later.
I think you're hyping this up just a little bit.
Well, it sucks. Just a little bit.
Oh, all right.
Well, maybe this will change your mind.
Can I ask where your eggs come from?
Hens' vaginas.
Right, I nearly got a laugh, nearly.
Better than nothing.
Excuse me, I have to deal with important guests first. Oh, for Christ's sake!
If only there was a way we could leave.
But you have not seen bad comedy until you've seen this.
Phoebe, one boiled egg. Phoebe, hello?
Phoebe, hello?
Yes, hello. One boiled egg.
Phoebe, hello?
Yes, hello.
Phoebe, who is it?
Phoebe, it's Mr. Thwaite.
Phoebe, he's not here. Can I take a message?
This genuinely may be one of the most unfunny things I've ever seen in my entire life.
I know. Oh, this just goes on forever. Please do something funny, please.
This was Rick Mail and Aid Edmondson, comedy legends, and now they're being about as unfunny as Stephen Mulhern.
How do you spell egg?
No, just remember it.
Oh, hang on a minute, I've broken me pencil. I'll just find another one. Sorry. Phoebe!
And it's still fucking going! Jesus Christ! Bottom line, it gets a pencil in the eye. Who cares?
Then Richie bends over. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to be a very well thought out and educated gag.
Loud.
And it's a pencil up the arse. Which of course makes it look like he's having a threesome, humping a table and grabbing a set of tits at the same fucking time.
We're 17 minutes in, nothing has happened and nothing has been funny.
The reason the stage play doesn't transition well to feature film is simply because the show had the crowd interaction. It's a completely different feeling, especially because of the cartoony nature. Here, it's live action, no audience, so the charm is gone and it's overly directed because it's an actual feature film. The camera angles distract and ruin the humour, it's just not funny, and every time you think it's about to end...
Excuse me one moment.
It carries on! They just try desperately to make these jokes work, but they just don't.
You will laugh at us!
It's still going, ladies and gentlemen! They are really milking our pain and misery for this amount of time. Jesus Christ, I hope someone cut our brakes before we left.
Anyway, Rob, before you have an aneurysm, Richie gets knocked out and he starts to hallucinate. And this is downright hilarious.
Come, lovelies. Out of respect for Richie, let us all take out our great knockers and wobble them about a bit.
Finally!
Really?
Yeah, finally they actually captured the charm of the original series and it's actually funny!
Well, there's some hope after all, isn't there?
This is preposterous!
And then Eddie appears in the dress, ruins the joke, and Richie wakes up.
Yay, back to dog shit!
Awesome.
Damn!
So, to finally insert some kind of plot, Richie noticed this crazy old bag has some gold teeth and decided to try and get his hands on them somehow.
You should get those checked, you know. My twin is a dentist.
Your twin? Is that the same twin who's a gynecologist?
Alright, a funny line.
You know, it's Eddie's delivery that just makes it so much better.
How do I look?
I don't know, I can't see a fucking thing.
Edward, have you been taking drugs?
No, Richie, that's you. That's how we came up with the screenplay, remember?
Yes, that's it.
But anyway, to continue the Shaun of the Dead reunion, Simon Pegg and his family shows up at the hotel for his feature film debut. Hey, are you okay?
A little part of me just died inside.
It's not that bad.
Yes, it is.
But hey, can't fault them for casting. They don't even want to be there. They're just there because it's cheap, like this film.
Anyway, Richie and Eddie brutally try to murder an old lady.
What?
Jesus!
How is this funny? I mean, in the show, they almost accidentally murder a gas man. And also, they did try to kill a burglar.
He deserved it.
He took the law into his own hands. But here, it's brutal and psychotic. It's not even delivered funny. It's just dark and uncomfortable.
So now you're starting to see things from my side.
No. It's still a great film.
Yes.
Oh, and if you think they've dragged out gags long enough already...
Morning.
We were beginning to think there was nobody here.
Yes, it looked a bit like the Mary Celeste.
How amusing!
They made Rick do long laughs on the show, which were funnier than this, but still not that funny.
But the difference is, in the show, it was still relatively short, 5 to 10 seconds.
So well, can't stand around here being great all day.
Here, it never ends.
Eddie, take their bags.
But they'll see, won't they?
No, Eddie. Take their bags to their rooms. Hmm?
And you'll keep them talking. Gotcha. Whoa! Look over there!
Okay, that was funny.
Only a little.
But then it's obviously followed by the funniest moment in the entire movie.
I've depressed the light switch now, which is on a timer, which has been scientifically designed to allow you plenty of time to take your key and insert it in the arse.
Insert it in your arse?
Damn it!
Oh, it's not good when that is the best joke you've got in your whole entire movie.
And then Richie catches Eddie trying to blatantly break into their suitcases with these massive set of plots. Stop making us laugh, you assholes!
Oh well. Eddie takes Peggs' kids away. Why they trust a man they've just caught trying to break in this suitcase? I have no idea.
They already know they're nuts, and this is just seconds after Richie pokes their mother in the eye. These parents are terrible.
And he takes them to a playground. Can we actually call this a playground? It's right at the edge of a cliff. Oh, the laziness of this humour.
Oh, look, we're dark and edgy.
He even gives the boy some alcohol.
Edgy.
The gag is so predictable too. And the girl flies off the cliff. Awesome sauce.
Meanwhile, Richie tries on the ladies' leather underwear because this is the best they could come up with, folks. This is the epitome of their humour. The bottom movie. The big one. Where they go all out. No boundaries. They can get away with so much more than the show. This is supposed to be all of the best bits, and we get Richie in a tight leather bikini.
I beg your pardon?
But uh-oh, Richie has accidentally left his clothes in their hotel room while he's hiding in a secret passageway, but somehow manages to exit through the main hotel room door. Like, what hell? How exactly is this building laid out?
Who cares? The Italian actress shows up. What a surprise!
You know, I'd just like to clarify. A bottom episode is between 29 to 30 minutes long, has a plot, and is always handled and dealt with by the end of the episode.
Here, we're 35 minutes in. No plot has been resolved or even set up. There's nothing but pain,
misery,
trauma.
Not even a hard-on.
It's horrible here.
So Richie hides in the oven while Eddie talks to her, and she accidentally turns it on with him inside, and it's not funny. You know, you'd think Rick Mail in a hot, tight leather bikini trapped in an oven, roasting to death could be funny, but it's not.
Before Eddie breaks the fourth wall by staring at the camera, which doesn't really work now that I think about it, considering earlier the characters very often look at the camera because of the bizarre direction, so we can't tell if he's looking at us or another character!
Not too good.
It turns out that she's there to hide from the paparazzi. You know, they'd never check a shitty hotel for her. So while Richie tries to escape from the oven...
Mice.
Alright, tiny bit funny. Just a smidge.
But hey, the only way to make this funnier is to obviously make Eddie pump up the underwear. Oh, look, it's getting bigger. Oh, look here, what a predicament. This isn't fucking funny.
Are you sure this is going to work?
Is the Pope a Catholic?
Yes, he is.
Is he? I never knew that.
That doesn't even make sense.
I mean, he says it so confidently. Like, is the Pope Catholic? So obviously it's a yes.
Yeah, but he seems so sure of the answer before and even after the gag. Like, he couldn't have got it wrong.
But then he's shocked to find out that the Pope is Catholic, so he didn't know the Pope was Catholic. What's the joke? Someone tell me.
Don't fucking ask me, I don't fucking know.
Why do people like this?
Fucking, you know what? Let's ring Aid Edmondson and ask him, because I bet he doesn't know. Let's go to Rick Mail's grave and ask him what he was...
This movie killed Rick Mail.
Yes.
You're quite forthright, aren't you?
Of course they burst the underwear and Richie is free. Wonderful.
Eddie checks in the Italian bird, and it's a bit weird that they actually have a room this fancy, considering we've established that they give no shits about any of the customers, but mysteriously and magically, they just happen to have a room that's fancy.
Oh well, she asks Richie to unzip her dress, and he seems to gain quite a hard spot for her.
You're such a sweet man.
And now I guess we're supposed to feel sorry for Richie. I mean, there's a soft piano tune playing. Oh, poor Richie, he steals from women, he torments kids, he tries to murder old ladies, but now that he can't get laid, oh yeah, sure, I'll sympathise with him.
Poor Richie, man. He only wants a bit of vagina. He deserves it. Especially with a name like cunt.
It's twat.
It's sweet!
Why do these things happen to me?
Oh look, Richie is sat on the windowsill. I have no idea where this is going.
What are you talking about? I actually have no idea.
Soi-disant.
Oh.
What a shocker!
Then Eddie gets run over by a truck who probably saw an advanced screening of this film, gets covered in fish, and they decide to use them for dinner anyway.
There's only so many ways to say that it's not funny, but it's not funny.
It's not hysterical.
That's right.
So they all settle down for dinner and... Wait! Why the hell does Peg and his wife just let Richie abuse their son right in front of them? Okay, so he pokes her in the eye,
yeah,
steals her clothes,
yeah,
abuses their children.
Yeah.
Why haven't they left again?
Better safe than sorry.
So Richie has a go at the newlyweds for shagging all the time before the Italian bird shows up and says she wants her salad naked. Get it? She means undressed, but they don't get it, and they literally turn up butt-ass naked.
Good evening.
Do something funny! Effort! Give us effort! Please!
In fact, they even drag the joke out for as long as possible, and they even spell out why it's supposed to be funny. No, I'm not exaggerating. They assume the audience are completely moronic and literally spell out why it's supposed to be funny.
No, I said I would like to eat the salad undressed.
Oh, I know that. We're both looking forward to it.
I'll say.
No, I mean, without dressing.
Oh, God. Back to the kitchen.
Oh, thanks for that! You know, I really think I misjudged this film. Do you think?
Wise choice.
Meanwhile, Peg has finally had enough and he wants to complain, but can't seem to find Richie anywhere.
Hey, give her one for me, won't you? No, if you get too tired, don't worry, just phone now and I'll happily come up and give her one myself.
So wait a minute. Earlier he's complaining and calling them names because they're constantly shagging.
Now he's encouraging it and even wants to join in.
You know, what a dirty bastard. You know, even their jokes aren't fucking consistent.
Excellent!
So they catch Richie stealing the underwear, he slams Eddie's face onto the monitor and it's about as funny as Rob Schneider. Peg steals the videotape of the footage and decides to pass them on to the police in the morning!
In the morning! This guy has been abusing your wife and kids, breaking in, tormenting, you know, he's been spying on you, probably saw you doing your wife doggy and masturbating over it, and now you're like, this isn't important, my family aren't in complete danger.
Can you take your hand off my penis?
What? Oh, sorry.
Okay, that was funny just because of how random and unpredictable it was.
You know, even Aid Edmondson had another line that got cut out because Rick just burst out laughing.
Can you take your hand off my penis?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Alright, put it back on.
That would have actually made it funnier.
Damn you, Rick, for laughing.
How very well put.
But hey, let's see if they can keep it up.
What happened to you?
Candle in the eye.
Pardon?
Candle in the eye.
Right out.
I forgot what funny is.
Right, they're fast asleep. Get your tackle out. I beg your pardon? Hand me your rod.
So after some unfunny dick jokes, Simon Pegg literally sleeps holding the tape. They use a fishing rod to grab it but end up grabbing his nipple piercing instead.
Did you find that funny? Pete? Pete?
Sorry, I'm just trying to find somewhere nice to drive us off and fucking die right now.
Oh, there's a nice spot.
Must be all the excitement.
So Peg dreams aloud about Princess Diana sexually smacking him, despite earlier being disturbed when Richie did that about his wife. But who cares anymore? The important thing is he gets knocked about and doesn't even wake up.
But oh no, the Italian bird's fiancée suddenly shows up, somehow finding out exactly where she was.
Bring me one nice romantic supper for two and an expensive bottle of champagne. Otherwise, you are wanted, motherfucker.
Watch that language if you can. We're trying to keep this PG, all right?
Well, you're not.
Because earlier you said...
Can't.
Even if your jokes are shit, please keep them consistent.
Okay, excuse me. Otherwise, you are one dead motherfucker.
I tried.
No, Aid. No one tried on this fucking film.
You know why I didn't come.
How can I know? You never tell me anything.
Because this is what we want from a bottom movie. Relationship troubles with characters we don't know and or give a shit about.
Meanwhile, Richie gets lost in the secret passages. How's that possible? He made the fucking passages! While Eddie tries to sort out breakfast for the couple while the douchebag seduces the Italian bird.
And I am not joking. We are now supposed to feel sorry for Richie because she's rejected him for the arsehole fiance dude. I mean, he was a bit of a dick and drop-dead Fred, but he had a childlike nature to him. He was charming. Here, he abuses kids and has attempted murder. Who cares about this arsehole?
But oh well, Richie... Okay, what the hell? This is terrifying. Seriously, this is meant to be a dark comedy. I get that. But Richie reaching out of a chest of drawers, this is fucking petrifying.
Their son even walks in and catches him, but they dismiss him. After everything Richie has done, they don't even investigate it. Nothing should surprise them at this point.
How the fuck do you not wake up when you're being banged around by a goddamn fishing rod attached to a fucking piercing on your nipple, which is stretching your nipple? And even when the piercing breaks, you don't wake up. But when your kid comes in going, Daddy, you wake up.
Who cares?
Pardon?
Meanwhile, Eddie's mates turn up. Eddie has friends. Why isn't this Spud Gun and Dave Hedgehog?
Why do they call you Spud Gun?
Well, give me a potato and I'll show you why.
Don't, Richie. You don't want to see that.
Anyway, it turns out they're the truck drivers from earlier, and the fish they fed to all of the guests were poisoned.
Oh, what a hilarious misunderstanding. Nothing is funnier than mass homicide.
Maybe one other thing. What's that? Richie finding a dildo. Nope.
Good grief.
So the couple get married, getting over all of their issues pretty fucking quickly. Who cares? Whatever gets us to the closing credits quicker.
Anyway, she refuses to fuck him, so he flips out, accidentally locks Richie in the cupboard, and this is just where the film becomes unnecessarily dark, even more unfunny, and just fucking uncomfortable.
I mean, it's already had attempted murder and child abuse. Sure, comedy. It wasn't funny, but sure, it's comedy. But now it randomly transforms into a dark thriller. We literally see the Italian dude pretty much raping his wife.
And we're about to get some graphic mass homicide. This is the Rick Mayall and Ade Edmondson comedic genius that made our childhood, and we get this shit. Right, you know what? Fuck this film. It's a piece of shit. I fucking tried to defend Rick and Ade. I tried my hardest, but I can't fucking do it. This is a piece of fucking shit.
It's absolutely disgusting.
So Eddie causes a fire to come up with an excuse to save Richie. I guess it's a little funny.
It's a fire risk.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
But then the other dudes find the poison fish that killed their cat. Edgy.
And they warn Richie and Eddie. But when you see this, do you really think hilarious comedy series or fucking episode of Midsummer Murders?
I don't know where you got that fish, and I don't particularly want to know, but what I do know is this hotel is now extremely highly contaminated. Thank God no one ate any, or you'd be up for first-degree murder.
Jeez. This isn't fun. Looks like Friday the 13th, part 7.
And they start to hear burping and farts from all of the rooms before everyone emerges and starts vomiting everywhere.
Comedies are supposed to be fun. This isn't fun, it's just uncomfortable.
It's my mummy. I want my mummy.
Why is it so funny to see a little girl horrified, traumatized, screaming for her mummy as she vomits everywhere? This is mortifying. This isn't funny. It's shot, edited, music composed like a Saw film.
Well, it was obviously funny to Rick. Can't we remember Drop Dead Fred? He traumatized a little girl in that.
He didn't traumatize a little girl. She was fine.
Yeah, but it was okay for him to do it in that.
No, she was fine.
It's fine for him to do it in this.
He didn't traumatize her. He was delightful.
He cut her fucking hair.
Yeah, she deserved it. She made a mud pie.
So they creep through the corridor as everyone continues puking, but it's honestly shot and edited like an actual horror movie.
At least the special effects look good, I guess, but this honestly lasts forever. And it actually holds the record for the longest vomiting scene in movie history with 10 minutes. Yeah, that's something to be proud of. It's not funny, it's just disturbing.
So they dodge all the puke to get back to their room. Like seriously, it's like a video game. Despite the fact that they kept all this shit downstairs, but it was established earlier that it makes no sense. So who cares?
Yeah, even have Richie getting a vibrator up his ass.
Ha ha.
Oh my God.
So the Italian continues to rape, but also becomes sick, even though he was the last one to eat the fish. So how come he's reacting so quickly when everyone else took forever to puke?
In fact, the woman isn't sick, despite eating the fish. What is going on?
But you can tell where their budget went. Look at those effects. We want some cash for our film so we can blow it on a vomiting Indiana Jones parody. fuck off! And then all of the guests who have never even met this Italian guy decide to brutally murder him for no reason. They don't know he's a douchebag rapist, but yeah, let's kill him with puke!
That won't be necessary.
Anyway, some hazmat guys show up to offer them £10 million, new identities, and passports to run away to the Caribbean to start a new life.
No, not a sequel! Never make a sequel!
But it could be better.
And just when you think it can't get any more offensive, after they leave a cliffhanger for a sequel, which Edmondson actually wanted to make before parting ways with Rick Mayall in 2003, we have to relive the unfunny slapstick all over again over the closing credits. I wanna go home!
This isn't even bloopers or anything. It's the exact same footage from earlier in the film. It's like they're begging for us to laugh at the shit we've already seen earlier.
And that was Guest House Paradiso. Do you see what I mean now?
Oh, yes!
It has a couple of funny moments, but that's it. It lacks the stage charm of the show, but even then it's painfully unfunny. Gags are all dragged out, there's no real story, it's uncomfortable to watch, mean-spirited and just disturbing to sit through. It's honestly the worst shit stain on either of their careers.
You know, the film was something amazing from my childhood, but now you fucked that up for me. Beginning with the fact that it is not a fucking bottom mover, yet the characters are totally identical. The plot holes are worse than the amount of value Rick Mayall was on during writing this fucking thing. There are still some parts I'll sit and enjoy, but now this film is just so messed up. So thanks a bunch, Rob. You've raped me on my childhood, and if I had a frying pan right now, I'd go to town on your head.
What? Bastard! Bastard!
Right.
Bastard! Bastard! Twat! Bastard! Bastard! Ha! Missed both my legs!
Oh. You know what? Today has been actually not bad. It's been a good day.